Oh man, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Joshua Moonshine. How you feeling today, my guy?
All right, yeah, the season's changing. We got spring just about a week from now. You know, it's everybody's feeling good. It's a weekend night. I mean, really, everybody's really been on the up and up. You know, I think they feel it too. Good vibes. New year came to us. Got a whole new thing coming. Yeah,
Oh man,
everybody's feeling good. Yeah, definitely.
appreciate you for taking time, to do this interview and break down a little bit of what you do. So we're gonna start by first, man. What inspired you to do this amazing work that you do?
Well, I've always been an artist. I used to do airbrush art. I was selling my own art when I was, I guess, in sixth grade. Sixth grade is probably where I started selling my first pieces. Here in Philly, I went to school here in Philly. They had like teach like a flea market week that they did at the school, and I asked if I could bring an airbrush and do hoodies. And after the first day, the whole school heard that somebody was doing hoodies. This is in the early 90s, to date myself. And people in the school heard that somebody was doing t-shirts, hoodies, and hats. And they went nuts. Everybody started to ask, because they had it set up to where it was like classroom to classroom. And you could go on Tuesday, you could go on Thursday, but they only gave me, I think I was only supposed to be there for 4 hours. Lunchtime came around, I was supposed to break down my station. Next thing you know, the principal called me up. I went up and she said, listen, we're going to give you the whole week. The whole school wants to get something done, and we're going to pardon you for the week, allow you just do the entire week so the school all can get. I mean, I don't even know how old I was, sixth grade, but young. I ended up making a lot of money that week. It was crazy. So even that young, I realized that this was kind of like a gift that was already given. It wasn't that I was really good at it. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like somebody that's into music. Even if they can't play, there's something about the person that you already feel connected with that thing that they're doing. Even if, somebody raps, say, and they're not very good at displaying the rap, but their voice is dope. So you're just already connected. It's like they're meant to do this, and in time it's going to work. So I knew in sixth grade that I'm probably going to be an artist for a living. Even though I did odd end jobs, I didn't find my feet until I was about 19. Once 19 came, I needed a job. I was working at one of the nightclubs in the city. It was jumping, but they were breaking all the rules. Club got shut down. I needed to pay some rent. I was living in South Philly, and I just went out. I went to South Street, and I just started drawing some stuff with some spray paint, trying to do people's names or whatnot, and people were supporting it right away. I ended up making a couple $100 in a couple hours. Was able to pay the rent. Had a little money left over. That's, rent was cheap back then. And I knew it right there. I was like, I got to do this. I got to pursue this. And from there on, that was it. I never did another thing after that didn't pertain to paint.
Have you always started with spray paint?
Yeah. I mean, that's my medium. That's what I'm well known for. I would say right now, the last couple years I've been experimenting with other things, but it's crazy. No matter how good something else is, they're still attracted to the spray paint. So that's the essence of me. I just recently started some online school stuff. I want to go back to the fundamentals. I never went to art school. So, I wanted to learn that because I have a new idea, a new opportunity for some different type of art. But I'm always going to be known for this. I mean, there's a lot of people that do what I do now that learned from me. whether they worked with me or were influenced, and then would hit me up and ask for little tricks and tips. And I don't have a problem putting it out there, because they end up doing something I never seen before, and then I learn about that new little trick they'll give me back. But yeah, it's always been basically spray paint. I definitely mastered the style.
Absolutely.
I'm probably the grandfather of the style at this point. But I did more than that. I turned it into a show. If anybody was on Wildwoods Boardwalk in the summertime in New Jersey from 2010 to 2014, they seen that big show that I put together. I mean, the way that I constructed it, it was a theatrical show. You guys can look that up on YouTube. Look up Joshua Moonshine Wildwood or something. There's a lot of videos that people were putting out at that time. I was probably painting over 100 paintings every single day then, just because there was a demand of it. I was painting right to the rhythm, the music. I started playing with psychology, with shapes and colors, how people were responding, and that's when it got real fun, because I was really grooving. The music was just pumping, and it went along with exactly what I was doing. I mean, you see me paint on the street now, it's a different vibe. It's a city quick vibe. But when I was doing the show, it was, the paint and the music were one.
All right. And when did you get to the point where you were able to do this stuff, man, in 4 minutes, 5 minutes of painting?
I can do them quicker than that. I've done paintings in 45 seconds.
When did you reach that point?
Probably the first year. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it was right off the bat. How they got tight and quick and precise, and it got so I was able to do them so fast that I started slowing them down on purpose, because I realized if I did them too fast, that people couldn't even comprehend how quick it was happening. I studied Tai Chi and a little bit of Kung Fu, so I was able to move my hands really quick from studying that, and it was incorporating. I was juggling cans, throwing them in the middle of the air, catching them right to the rhythm of the music, and I really ain't gonna lie. I was doing them so quick that people couldn't even. I had to slow it down because people didn't even know what just happened. If I was doing a full-blown painting in 90 seconds, one after the other, after the other, after the other, people didn't get it. They couldn't get it. It just happened too quick. Like it was a blur. Especially when the music and everything was going together. So I started slowing them down to the length of a song, which was 4 or 5 minutes. I knew that people's patience would only allow me to work with that. Now, don't get me wrong, later, after 2012, when YouTube and all that started, I was able to speed the paintings up because their patience level was getting shorter. So I could paint them even quicker and they would get it a little bit more. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. After that, then it becomes a blur, and the people, again, if you went too quick, it's weird. It's almost like it was too fast for them to comprehend what was going on. Seeing something from nothing into something, like, it just didn't make any sense. Plus, I was painting with aggression, with the speed. It was almost like I was fighting the canvas. I was going to war with it. And then at the end, it was like this process. I just created a whole new kingdom the way I want it. And because I was moving so fast, that comes back to the concept of, did you know what you were painting? Absolutely not. How could I? It went with it. I was moving with the spirit of the paint, moving with the spirit of the action of what I was doing. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you do something so many times, the thought's gone. you're not even thinking anymore. You're just moving with the emotion.
Absolutely, man. You certainly blew my mind. First time I saw you painting. And what's the most paintings you ever done in a day?
139.
139
Laconia,
paintings
New
in one
Hampshire.
day.
Laconia, New Hampshire Bike Week. It's a funny story. That day I met the head of the Hells Angels. This is a big motorcycle rally. It's funny because, I had this really big tent area in Laconia. It's a 10-day festival. I think there's over 1 million people at this festival. And I had this big area that we put together. I had some lighting, and it was cool. And I'm painting, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm just in it, one after the other, and I look up, and it's just a sea of black and red jackets. That's the Hells Angels thing. And I look to my right, and there's this gentleman that's standing over top of me. Now, remember, I'm in a big area. I have it roped off like 30 feet. You can't even get to me. All you're seeing is me moving. And I'm thinking, who the hell's this guy? Like up here on the stage, like, what is he doing? And I told him the price, and he goes, I love it. I want them all. Snaps his fingers. This guy walks over. He says, pay him. So he bought everything I had right then and there. And then real quick, he invited me to one of his rallies, famous motorcycle rally they have in Washington, D.C. On Memorial Day weekend. I think that's probably, 500,000 people that go to that. And throughout that day, I remember, because he bought everything, I had to refill everything, because this was early in the day. So I had to just pump as many as I could out, because it was going to get busier. The amount of canvases that I had that day was 139, and I completed them all, and every one of them sold as well. So it was a great day. Business-wise, I was exhausted, but it was all right. I still was having a lot of fun. We met a couple ladies that night, that actually bought a couple paintings, had a good time, and that's how I know it was 139. But during that time period, I was hitting the gym hard, doing a lot of calisthenics, doing a lot of aerobic stuff, so I could be really good at, in shape, and I could move. And around that time period, I was doing almost 100 paintings every day. Not at the street, because I was doing a lot of festivals, so they were long days. Might have started at noon or 10 in the morning and went to 10 at night, so they were like 12-hour days. But you break it down, maybe I was doing 10 paintings an hour, which is like every 5 minutes, just pumping them out. And then I took little breaks or whatnot, but yeah, so I think I'm probably around 200,000 paintings in my life. I know that sounds crazy. Some people won't believe it. I don't really care. Because I know I was doing at least 10,000 paintings a year, 20 years. Because in the summer alone, I would buy a truckload of canvases. One shot, buy a whole truckload. And that was 7,000 paintings. In the summer alone, I was breaking down 7,000 paintings. And then the winter's a little slower because I move around a little bit more. It gets cold. I don't work as much. So let's just say 3,000. It's kind of a guesstimation. But yeah, about 10,000 paintings a year. Are they all, pristine, perfect? No, probably not. Especially the early stuff. But, I could probably be in Guinness, no problem. Somebody put me up. Matter of fact, I always thought about just recently putting on YouTube, doing 500 paintings in a week and filming them all. Just showing them that, so for anybody hating, thinking I can't do it, even though I'm at an older age, I still can do 500 paintings in a week. That don't even make sense to people, but if you're just in the flow of things, everything's possible.
Yeah, man. Like I told you, man, I would love to see you do a YouTube channel so more people can see this stuff, man, because it's just one of those euphoric things that's mind-blowing, and I know that people will get a lot from it.
Yeah,
but
I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel, because I travel a lot. I want to show that art is a language that can be spoken by anybody. I mean, I could show up in a country that speaks no English at all, and we can interact and go through. The people have an interest in it because it's art. Art's that universal language that people can understand. I'm not, I'm not, selling anything. And the adventure that gets to that point, of planning where to go. I have some friends in the jungles in Brazil. I'm supposed to do a mural there. It's definitely in its thinking stage. I got to get it to the next point, and put that together to show the journey of a street artist, and it's the ability that the language of art works anywhere. I could be in the hood, and somebody asks me for a graffiti piece with their name or a portrait of their daughter. It works. Or I could be on high society where they want a map of the city. I can do both. So it's a language that works at every income level as well, not just language barriers. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that. I think he might be helping me a little bit just by doing this interview.
Absolutely. So before we go, speaking of traveling, what are some of the significant places that you've done your thing?
Well, I painted on Bourbon Street in New Orleans for a long time. That's a crazy place. That's it's wild. I seen things that you could do full-blown movies, feature films on, that I seen go on there in moments. When I was younger, I kicked it in Key West a lot. Summertime, probably the spot I went the most is Wildwood, New Jersey, on the boardwalk. A couple little locations there, rented different spaces. I went overseas, did it in a couple different places, Middle East, a little bit, did a little bit of painting in Europe. But I spent a lot of time on the East Coast of the United States. There is one time that I always remember is I had my ATM card, it didn't work. I'm in a place called Jasper, Alabama, and a small town right next to it. I seen the sign said population 73. This is how I know that this thing that I do is for me, it works for me. It's 3:30 in the morning. I pull over to get gas. I'm headed to Myrtle Beach. I was ready to do the bike week that they have in Myrtle Beach, but I had to get there at a certain time, so I was driving in the middle of the night. I used my ATM card. It don't work. Card's locked. Can't get no gas. I'm in the middle of nowhere. How am I gonna? I gotta get there because I gotta do the permit in the morning in Myrtle Beach. If I'm not there, there's only so many permits they sell. I'm asked out for the whole week. I won't be able to do the festival. So I'll never forget it. I think it was like 2005. I go to the lady. I show her one of my paintings. I'm like, look, I can do this painting. And it was an American, I remember, it was an American flag with the Twin Towers. So it was 2005. People were, that was still on their mind. It was fresh. Only a couple years have went past since the Twin Towers fell. So it was like a memorial piece. I tell the lady, look, I can paint this painting in 2.5 minutes. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can do it in 2.5 minutes. I told her my situation. I said, listen, do you mind if I set up a little box with a couple colors and I'm gonna paint and see if I can make a little bit of gas money? I'll give you a painting or two. I'll make it. She was happy. Yeah, can you make me this? Can you do? All right, no problem. So anyway, every time somebody came, and remember, I'm in a town that's got 73 people. There's nobody coming. It's 3:30 in the morning. I took a little picture. I wrote free spray paint show or something with the board. Every time somebody pulled up to the pump off of the highway, I said, hey man, I bet you I can paint a picture faster than you can pump gas. They started laughing. What do you got going on over here? So 45 minutes later, I had $420.
Wow.
Got myself to Myrtle Beach, got the permit, everything worked out. I knew right then and there, I mean, I was already doing it for a couple years, but this thing that I figured out will always get me through. It's a partner in what I'm doing. So it's built for me. I'm at the hip with it. The quick street art. Even if my skills improved to the point where, and I wasn't working with spray paint anymore and I was just doing portraits, I'm always going to be out in the corner doing it for a small festival. I'm not that artist that sits inside. There is a time and place, I guess, that you would work in a gallery or work in a studio, but for me, I got to be amongst the people. The way they vibrate and the way that I'm working, it's like one and the same. Even if you walk past me, you've already been involved. You're part of the painting because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibe. You tell me that's what's up. You walk by, yeah, I like your paintings. You ain't even got to buy anything. You're already influencing it. So, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
All right, man. And anybody that may see this or people that can't find you on the streets, how can they reach you? How can they get a painting? How can they get in contact with you?
I got a website. There's not much on it right now. I'm kind of rebuilding it up. You know, this is that transition period, but there's stuff on there, and you can always send me a message, and I can make something for you. But it's the letter J, Moonshine.com, or JoshuaMichaelFineArt.com. It will lead you to the same place. Eventually, I'll divide the two websites for, you know, so they don't kind of overspill with each other. But yeah, jmoonshine.com, Josh Moonshine. Yeah, and support me if you can. And if you got some ideas or collaborations, I do murals, I do anything. You know, I can airbrush on motorcycles. It doesn't really matter, you know, if it's something blank and you want to build it and make it into something, let's do it. Let's put it together. Hit me up. I'll hit you back right away, and I can travel. So if you have a mural you want done on your ceiling in LA, I'll drive out, bring the stuff, get it done. It's not a problem. You can be in Brazil. I got a mural coming up in Brazil, actually at an ayahuasca center. That's going to be fun. Where shamans do ayahuasca rituals with people, and I'm going to be doing a mural there. So I'd like to document that too, because that's going to be wild.
Oh man, that's dope, man. So yeah, man, make sure y'all reach out. JoshJMoonshine.com. Really dope painting. Listen, man, thank you for your time. Thank you for, you know, the work that you do. And I want you to continue to do this great work, man. Appreciate you, Josh.
Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, man. Like, you're doing it. People are seeing you. You already know. You're already on the path. You're already walking it. Your thoughts are already maturing. You taking them heavenly thoughts and maturing it right here on earth. You got it. Absolutely. It's already happening.
That's why we had to connect, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you. Joshua Moonshine, y'all.